My name is Will Horton, and this is Shintoism Week 4 by me. Almost done. So, individual and group experience. What is your religion? So, it's a normal question here, but in Japan and Shintoism, it's a different question. So, Shintoism isn't their religion, it's a part of their life. Like, when you ask them that, they identify as Shinto, but they don't identify it as their religion. It's part of their everyday life, which leads me into my next question, everyday life. So, Shintoism affects everyone's everyday life. So, from traditions and stuff that's been passed on to music, like common sayings like before they eat, they say itadakimasu, which is a Lord's Prayer that's just been passed down. It's just a common thing to say before you eat. And other stuff like that, like the music, the fine arts, everything is still culturally affected by Shintoism. Every single person and every single group has been touched by Shintoism, from either old customs that have been passed down or just common stuff that they see all around them that they think is normal, but it's different to us, like from going from shrines every day or other stuff like that. So, conversion. How does it affect the religion? So, conversion is different. There really is no conversion. It doesn't really affect the religion. There's no ceremonies. There's nothing like that. Which leads me to my next question: how do I convert? So in Shintoism, it's different. It's how I said earlier. You don't say Shinto is your religion. You just one day wake up and say, "I'm Shinto." That's all there is to it. There's not much, but it's what they do, and there's nothing fancy about it. Like how we have baptism ceremonies and all that stuff like that. You just wake up and say, "I'm Shinto." Okay. Worship and prayer. How do I worship? So worship is different in Shinto. Uh, in Shinto, you go to temples and other stuff, and the way you worship is you follow the priest, what he says. You be respectful. You take off your shoes. You don't talk. You listen to what he says. You do what he says, and that is how you worship and pay your respects. Which also leads me into my next question: what is prayer to Shinto? So prayer is along the same lines of worship. You have to, you just show your respect, and you pray, you show your respect, and Kami will hear, and it is great. And that is my next question, Kami. So to worship and pray, you can go to different Kamis, and each Kami has a different meaning, and you pray and worship them for what you need. Like if you need help on study, you would go into that Kami. If you need a good harvest or anything like that, you would go to that Kami and show your respects and pray. And how you pray and worship more is in my next thing, which is Norito, Ima, Afuda, and Omikuji. Sorry if I butchered anything, but so Omikuji is, I kind of found them like how they were described on where I read it was almost like Chinese fortune cookies. It's a paper slip and it has your fortune on it. And Norito is a basic prayer. It's a priest or a shrine guard practically prays for you and guides you along in a prayer. And Emma is a wooden plaque that you put your prayer on to Kami and other stuff like that. And Ofuda is a amulet with the name of a Kami inscribed on it, and you use that to pray, and it will protect you and other stuff like that. Kind of how we have some keepsakes for other religions. So gender and religious experiences. So how does gender affect? So gender, it used to affect a lot more in the religions. Like men had harems, and you could be unfaithful to your wife, but your wife had to be absolutely faithful to you, and other stuff like that, where a man could divorce a wife, but a wife couldn't divorce a man, and just a bunch of other problems. But in the time period when this was happening, every country had gender problems and didn't have fair equality and equal rights back then, and which other stuff like that. And also, there has never really been any problems with anything else in today's current Shinto. Like everything is mainly well accepted, like sexuality, gender, cultural they accept everything. And my next question is, how does age affect? So age affects a lot in Shinto. There's different positions, like the eldest in the family is the family guardian. He sticks out for the family. He decides the decisions of the family, and then they each have duties. Like the young ones have to go to school, get education, and everything like that, and just follow the rules and everything, and belong to your family in Shinto. Almost kind of like Chinese households too in Asian countries. So Finn, thank you so much. This is my Shintoism Week 4 slide. I can't wait to do Shintoism Week 5, our final project. Thank you again. These are my sources. Like always, my slideshow will be in the description, and you can go through my sources and everything else. Thank you again. Goodbye.